Coming up on today's show, we bring you a recap on the Bocce Ball tournament, emphasize the effort our drama program puts in, and give you a much-needed sports recap.
Let's start the fire. Get ready for this week's episode of LETV.
Good morning, Ellie. I'm Fallon Murphy.
And I'm Chloe Coleman. Today is May 2nd. We welcome you to this week's episode of LETV. Graduation is on May 23rd. Make sure to put this date on your calendar if you're attending. Rehearsal is on May 22nd for those who are participating in the graduation ceremony.
The year is wrapping up, which means testing is coming soon. The first exam date is May 1st. Make sure to check the Ellie calendar to find out when your test dates are.
The annual spring band concert is on May 13th. Entry is free. Make sure you come out and support your fellow students.
Ellie is hosting a dance showcase on May 9th. Make sure you come out and support them. Tickets are being sold through dancers for $5 or at the door for $10.
On April 11th, the Special Olympics hosted a bocce ball tournament. Many schools competed with our demons in this riveting game. Let's cut to Drew Kish, who captured this exciting competition.
Since 1968, the Special Olympics have been a crucial part of sports history. Since 1991, bocce ball has become an integral part of the Special Olympics. On April 11th, Ellie had the opportunity to be a part of this amazing event.
Special Olympics are a bunch of sports that happen all year long. A lot of times people misconstrue and think Special Olympics is just once a year, but our athletes compete all year, track and field, bocce, basketball. It's about giving them the same opportunities that their peers have, so they have fall sports and spring sports and winter sports too. And then they're unified now, so that means you have students with and without disabilities who are not helping each other but actually participating together as part of a team. So you see how much fun they're having back there and how they're laughing and getting along together. It's because you're creating that unity, because it's no longer segregated or separated. It's about inclusion.
Ellie had the great privilege of hosting a majority of the special athletes across the whole district, including athletes from Camden High and North Central.
I think this kind of event, we love it because we can see like the other partners from other schools, the other athletes, and we build that connection. It's not us against them or them against to us. We are just a family, and what we encourage is like create memories together. You know, so a lot of participation, a lot like...
Our students love coming to these events because they love to see their friends from the other schools.
Yes.
And we like to encourage that, and all the teachers encourage that too, and the coaches.
Yes, yes.
The tournament consisted of numerous courts in which each contained special athletes as well as their buddies. The teams expressed joy on their faces as they took turns throwing the large bocce balls towards the Polino. The tournament ended in an epic dance party where special athletes and buddies socialized with each other, breaking the barriers of today's stereotypes. Reporting for LETV, this is Drew Kish, signing off.
Thank you, Drew. Our dramatic demons spend countless months meticulously assembling different productions. Recently, they crafted their rendition of the popular movie Mean Girls. So let's cut to Peyton Mobley for some insight into the production process.
Mean Girls the Musical was held on April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the auditorium. This musical was a shortened version of the iconic movie itself, combining a sense of humor and drama. As the doors opened, friends and family rushed to sit back, relax, and watch the show that was about to unfold. Being able to put together a show such as Mean Girls was a huge process. Mean Girls has been a process since the middle of the semester. The actors were thrilled to audition, but more excited about the roles they were given.
I was really excited, but at first I didn't believe it because I've never gotten the lead role in any musical before. So I was like, this is like really exciting, and yeah, I've loved it ever since.
I was super excited because I really wanted her, and it was just like amazing to finally be a lead character. So yeah.
Musicals and plays receive a lot of feedback from peers. Along with the feedback, misunderstandings can come in all different forms, whether positive or negative.
I wish people would understand that it's not just memorizing lines and like repeating what you see. It's a lot of thinking about what is your character doing, why are they doing it, and how can you portray that to a very large audience. You have to be able to project not just to the people up front, but also everyone all the way in the back, and make sure that they understand what's happening and the storyline is clear.
Not only does being in productions help grow actors with their acting skills, but it also allows the director to grow their experiences of directing and putting out productions.
Oh, definitely. It has definitely bettered my experience in so many ways. I think as a director who's part of the education programs, directors in the real world have teams of people, experts in their field. I'm the expert teaching others so that I can delegate and I don't have to take care of everything. But as much as I'm an expert in very many things, there are things that I have very hard strengths in and very low weaknesses in. And one of my weaknesses, which is funny enough, is costumes. I've never been great at sewing or even designing, and so having a show that literally has a costume change for every single character and then multiples of some has been extremely challenging, but I have also grown in confidence in those areas as well, so that's really exciting for me.
Being in these productions can be challenging, but knowing how to prepare yourself for these roles can make a huge difference when improving your acting abilities.
Some of the steps that I've taken have been practicing lines outside of the club, practicing maybe on the phone with a friend, or practicing with my parents, and just singing when I have spare time.
The director can't do all the work themselves. They need a tech crew to really bring things to life.
I feel like the amount of work we actually put into it doesn't get enough recognition. We spend all of their rehearsal times usually making props, and sometimes we get last-minute props to do, and it's kind of hard to manage that.
Starting a production at the Such doesn't just start by rehearsals. There's a whole rundown of things needed to be done from start to finish.
So the very first thing that you always do is you figure out what would best fit who you have. So in the education system, I don't have a pool to choose from as far as a vast city. I have a school. So I kind of have to decide, what do I think is going to fit really well? And then I talk with Mr. Johnson, our music director, and I say, hey, what do you think about these shows? Because he has to be able to teach the music, and he has to make sure that the music fits our student body as well. And then after we peruse a couple shows, we then kind of decide, okay, what's going to be budget feasibly? And then we narrow it down some more. And then we kind of just decide based off of what we want to do the most. And so it was a couple other shows in Mean Girls, and I was like, I really would like to do Mean Girls. I think Mean Girls is still prominent and people know the show. And so Mean Girls it is. And then at that point, we go ahead and do the auditions, and students come in, they auditioned online, and then we did callbacks, and then we try to fit the pieces as best as possible, and then we go through all the many different rehearsals we have. Music rehearsals, blocking, choreography. Right now we're in the middle of run-through, so they're running through scenes, they're running through whole parts of the show, not carrying their scripts. Then we'll do shows not carrying the scripts and also not asking for help. Then we'll add the tech, dress rehearsals, and then finally we get to do the production.
Reporting for LETV, I'm Peyton Mobley.
Thank you, Peyton, for that insightful story. As sports come to a close, we are eager to give the athletes on our team some recognition. Let's cut to Tristan Young for this week's segment of Sports Central.
What's up, DV Nation? I'm Tristan Young, and welcome to this week's edition of Sports Central. This week, we'll be taking a look at our senior athletes from our golf, track, and softball teams. On Wednesday, April 23rd, our Demon track team had their senior night against Thomas Sumter, Camden, and other schools. The track team dominated the meet. Congratulations to our senior on an amazing season.
What has kept me coming back to the team is just how track low-key turns into an individual sport. So your individual success and the meets that you get to, like the state meet, I just really like going to state. I mean, that's a big accomplishment, being some of the best athletes out of the state. So I think that's what makes me come back. And also Coach Lane's just a really good coach.
Next, we take a look at our Lady Demons softball team, who played against Camden for their senior night on April 23rd. They won with a score of 5-2 and showed out for their senior night. A fantastic job by our Lady Demons to pull out the win against our rivals in one of the most important games of the season. Finally, we had a great golf team senior night. On April 28th, our Demon golf team took on Camden, Blythewood, and South Point with a final score of 155. Senior Braden Keeter was a medalist with a score of 36. This match showcased the undoubtable talent and great coaching of the LE golf team.
I've been playing for about 7 years, so I've been officially with the team since 6th grade, but I've been playing with my dad probably a year before that. As a player, my strengths are definitely just like, I have a lot of distance with my swings, but my short game is very inconsistent. And as a player, or as a teammate, it's probably just being able to bring my teammates up, because this game's very mental, and we like to mess with each other a lot, so it's very hard to get out of mental things whenever everybody's messing with each other.
The game of golf is a mental game. You always want to score better than you did. It doesn't help that the pros go out and shoot what they shoot, but we're high school golfers, so one score better is always nice, but you know, it comes in waves. You have good days and you have bad days. So I've been in their shoes before, and that's what I try to remind them when they're out here playing, is like, hey, like, you know, the advice that I'm giving you, the suggestions I'm giving you, is because I've been in this exact spot, sometimes on the exact same course, in the exact same moment, chance to win a tournament or win for your team. And it's just like, hey, like, you know, no pressure, but if you do poorly, like, we're not going to do well as a team. But if you do well, maybe we'll win, and you could actually be the reason that we win the match. And from a high school perspective, a golfer's perspective, that's what you want. You want that opportunity to win by making a putt on the last hole to win a match, and sometimes that becomes reality. So
that wraps up our sports segment for today. Thank you to all of our seniors. Tune in next week for all the updates and highlights on Sports Central.
Thank you, Tristan, for that update on sports. That's all for this week. Make sure to tune in on May 9th for our next video.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at LETV Demons. And remember, go Demons!